Okay. Oh, I will tell you, like, I think I hit overload this evening because I'm like so tired. Yeah, okay. So you guys know that I was in Atlantis and there was a training in Atlantis. Oh, well, I'm sorry, there was a half day of trainings. And there was one thing in particular that really got me going because it had to do with online. And and I'll get into that in a minute. But I just got back last night from Oklahoma City. I was at Deanna Heron's home for the weekend. I actually went down a day early to spend some time with some of my best buds, Sarah Langham and Andy Arby. And so it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was over by noon on Sunday and drove home. And oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. So this is year number 4. She started doing this 4 years ago. She limits it to 25 people. What it ended up being this year is primarily all national vice presidents and a few people who are like have qualified for MVP or like stinking close. And it is just the most amazing group of women. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you is that I all of you are in different spots, and I get it because I talk to a lot of you individually. Some of you I don't get to talk to enough, so you need to send me a Voxer and check in with me. But what I kept thinking throughout the weekend is, and I posted something similar to this on Facebook today on my regular personal page, which yes, I posted. Oh my gosh, myself, like it wasn't just somebody who tagged me. That everyone deserves to have something like that because there is nothing like having people who really see you in your highest self. And what I mean by that is their vantage point of you is like in all of your greatness, whether you're showing it or not, what they know, how special they know you are. And you guys, you need to understand, and I hope you feel that each one of you, every single one of us has something really, really special to contribute in this world. And it is really true. There's really only one you. There's only one you. But to have a environment where people are really, they see you in that way, they are breathing life into you, they are challenging you, dreaming with you. It's almost overwhelming. And yes, there's a lot of crying because we talk about struggles and challenges and things that have come up. And, you know, if you think that national vice presidents don't struggle, you're wrong. You guys, MVP is a title. It is not a answer to everything. Okay. This is a business and there is a paycheck attached and there's some wonderful benefits. But to me, the biggest benefit is that as you work on yourself and you grow yourself and you really are chipping away at the best version of you, you really get to be around people who are on the same path. Like that's what they're up to as well. And we all falter, we make mistakes, we get down on ourselves. You know, if you think that I don't think bad thoughts about myself at times, oh my word, I totally do. And that's, unfortunately, I can't stand it, but that's part of being human. But in the quest of building this business, what I want you to really think about is, you know, what's your purpose? And the reason I bring this up is on the way down to Oklahoma City, I got to listen to Jerry Rosenthal. And, you know, I do this special coaching with him. And just so you know, and I will post it, he let us know that he is going to do an all team call this Thursday. So that means if you are on my team, you get to get on. Okay. And it was in response to our like freak out about the call that he did on Thursday because it was so good. Like I was like, oh my gosh, that's the best call he's ever done. Like lights out amazing. And we were all like, can we please share this with our teams? Can we please share this with our teams? So this Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. I know that won't work for all of you, but here's the wonderful news. He will record it and I will be able to forward it on to you. Okay. But so mark it down right now that this is a call above all calls that I think you want to listen to. But one of the things that he talked about, and one of the things that I started having an awakening to, I feel like, since impact training. So impact training, Molly Guy was here in Kansas, and she talked about being like, are you on a mission? And I was thinking, yes, I am on a mission. But when I really stopped to think about it, and I know I shared this with you guys, I realized I've been hedging myself still a bit. And the best way for me to describe it is I honestly feel like this is me. I have been on the airplane and the door is open. I have my parachute pack on. I have the goggles. My hair is like flying. My cheeks might be going, whatever. And I've been like, okay, I'm going. Watch me. Just watch me. I'm going. I am. And I haven't jumped out of the plane. And what I mean by that is I haven't put myself where it's like, it's all out on the table. There isn't anything left unsaid. Okay. I gave it like literally can't give it anymore. And when I mean I can't give it anymore, I need you to understand something. That can't give it anymore doesn't mean working Arbonne like crazy town where it puts you so like, oh my gosh, I can't, do anything else in my life. Or I think sometimes that's how we hear it. That's not what I mean. I mean that when I'm meeting with a prospect, that feeling of like when they start hedging and they're like, I just don't know if this is the right time or whatever, that I'm really authentic and vulnerable with them. And I say, so here's the deal. This is why I wanted to talk to you about this. And ultimately, you are the decision maker. But I will tell you, I don't know how you're going to have access to the stuff that you really, really want without doing something like this. And I know it's probably coming up in a different package than you think. But not just sitting back and be like, totally get it. I really think that you should think about getting started because this is a good time, but Arbonne will be here. You guys, having that kind of response isn't jumping out of the plane. And what we all need to realize is that whether you are at consultant level or whether you're, area manager or VP, I want you to think about, since you've started Arbonne, are there things that you know about yourself that you didn't know before? Is there value? Have you grown? Has there been something in this that you're like, gosh, I didn't know that women could be so positive and uplifting. I didn't even know, I never even used to think about the concept of literally being my best self and what does that look like and living life to the fullest. I don't think that there's anyone who starts Arbonne and gets into some activity and attends, some, even if it's just a few online team calls and listening to some calls, that doesn't and get some amazing, amazing value. And I want you to ask yourself, what is my purpose? What are the things that I'm passionate about? Because on this call, Jerry Rosenthal talked about that he was at this Increase Summit this past weekend. So I guess now a little over a week ago, because I heard his call on Thursday. And it was the weekend before. And he had gone around to these mega leaders in industries, all sorts of industries, okay? But network marketing, you name it, all sorts of stuff. And he asked 65. He was able to have conversations with 65 of the 200 and ask them, what is the one thing that you think is the difference maker in someone being successful? What's the one? And there were a few people that said work ethic, like hard work. There were some people that said integrity, which means being a person of your word, as someone that people can trust. But 58 of the 65 said passion. And that's where I was like, yes, I know this. I know that the reason why I had such success so quickly is that I was on fire with the passion of what I saw that this business could do for me and other people. I really did. And passion is attractive. And Molly Guile and Deanna Herron, in their special time after impact, they talked about that you can go through and in this business absolutely do activity and do a lot of it. But if you are missing passion, you are never going to get where you want to go. You're never going to get there. So you can meet with as many people and book as many events as you want and hand out samples or whatever. But if you are not resonating with people and connecting with them on a passion point of yours, it doesn't matter. And it just became so clear because they said it then. And then the next weekend I attended the Sonia Stringer event, and it was just, it was for a half day on Friday because I ended up, my kids had only a half day. And I remember driving down there and thinking, and I did pray in my car. I was like, Lord, I kind of don't have time for this. I need to be working my business, and I have income producing activity to do. And I just had this whole training weekend. So as I'm going down here, help me to hear something that's really useful in my business. And I said, and I want it to be in social media is what I said. Because you guys know I've been working on Facebook and stuff and figuring this out for us. And it was not on social media. It was that Simon Sinek video. And if you haven't watched it, it's on the team page. It's from a little over a month ago. And you have got to watch this video, because what he talks about is the difference maker in what are you as a company and as a, whatever you're doing, what are you selling? Are you selling widgets? Are you selling the overall concept? And it was I grabbed Debbie Miller, she probably was because when I was watching this, I had seen this video a year and a half ago. And I remember thinking, yeah, I so get that. I get that. How, we need to be more about the why. You guys, I did not get it. It hit me like a 10-foot truck. I mean, literally like a semi. And I was like, oh, Debbie, we've been talking about the wrong thing. Oh my gosh. This is not about pure ingredients and safe products. I mean, yes, we have that. But you guys, ask yourself this. Is that why you bought Arbonne? Is that really the reason why you bought Arbonne the first time you bought it? It wasn't why I bought it. I thought, oh, that's nice. I didn't buy it because of that. I bought it because Jody's face was literally glowing. And I was like, I want that. Okay. And me deciding to be in this business wasn't just the features, and the comp plan or whatever. It was this access to a lifestyle that I actually didn't think was possible, except if you were born really wealthy, basically. Okay. And this is available to people. And for me, my passion point, big time, definitely is surrounding, people living their best life. I really do feel like we have a way of letting every day just kind of be, we take the days as they come. And there aren't that many people that step out and say, gosh, I want to create something amazing. If I'm here, why not make it amazing? Right? I think life is too short. I am all about pure living. That's why I named it our team page that. That's why our business tools website is pureliving.biz. This is about pure living and not perfect living. Oh my word. None of us, number one, perfect doesn't exist. And that's not what we're about. I mean, even though I have all of this knowledge, do you think I eat perfectly all the time? No. And by the way, I kind of don't think that's fun. So, and you guys know I'm all about fun. But This is about pure living. As I have built this business in Arbonne, I have had more full out, pure living, amazing moments in my life that I absolutely would have had without it. And that lights me up and gets me super excited because I'm like, we get to offer that to people. We get to offer access to vacations, extra money, pay down debt, feel alive, become a more confident person, become someone who learns how to lead. And we're all leaders in the rough, but really like learning how to lead and lead something where it's not because you just have a title. It's because you've done something and you've gone somewhere and you can show people, right? In the workplace, leadership just by title, like a manager, you do what the manager says just because. But true leadership is where they don't have a bearing on firing you and you do it because you want to follow them, right? And do people want to follow you? I think that for a long time, and longer than I want to admit, you guys, I haven't been leading with my passion. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the missing piece that I've been like, what's happened? What's happened? I can teach passion. And if you're sitting here thinking, that's great, Julianne, I know Arbonne's transformed your life. It hasn't transformed mine. In some ways it seems to me like just another to do. I get it. We need to figure it out for you because I know it's there because you decided to do this. And maybe your passion is making sure people don't get fooled by marketing ploys. You realize, oh my word, like Arbonne actually puts the investment in the bottle, in like the product, not on all the other fancy stuff. Like maybe it starts there for you. Maybe it is about being able to be home with your kids or being able to give your family a vacation that you would never allow yourself to take if it weren't being given to you. You guys, the Atlantis trip, and I think I said this, but you guys, that would have been an incredibly expensive trip. Like, holy cow, don't go there unless it's all inclusive. Oh my word. It's really cool, but I thought, wow, like, thank you, Arbonne, for spoiling us like that. And so when I'm talking about passion and purpose, I want you to I'd love for you to spend some time this week and really kind of dig in. And I would love to hear from each one of you, every single one of you. I don't care where you are on my team. Like, I'd love to hear from you and talk with you about how to find your purpose. Because if you're like, I have no clue where to even begin on that, I do. Because I want you to think about, like, what do you end up finding yourself make time for? Think about this. What do you make time for? I'll tell you something that I make time for. Friends who call me and say, oh, would you like to go on a walk? Or would you like to have lunch? Like, I will be like, oh, let me figure that out. Yes. I will like move and do like juggling acts because I love being with people and I love being with, people that I hold in high esteem. And so that's a huge value for me. And how many people don't have time to spend time with the people that they care about, right? That's not okay. Now I don't get to do that all the time, but I get to do it a lot because I do work, but this is about working smart. Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about is the big ahas surrounding social media. So Nicola Wills spoke in Atlantis, and she talked about attraction marketing. And I want to encourage all of you to consider creating a business page that does not have Arbonne in the title, okay? But I want you to consider creating a business page where you are showing the world your brand. And there is a call that I will post where in the beginning of the call, Deanna Herron talks about creating your brand. And that was part of our thing this weekend was, what is your brand? Who are you? Who do you want to be in this world? Like, what do you kind of stand for? What do you want people to think about when they think about you? And what's super fun about this is that this Nicola Wills, who's direct to Stuart Armfield, she's a brand new national vice president. Her story was, she's like, you guys, I saw Stuart's success. I was such a naysayer. I mean, she was never, ever going to do this, right? Because that's all of our story. And then she decided to. She's in the UK. She's like a total sprite. She's hilarious. I mean, like, that's the best way to describe her. Like, she's beautiful, like little dainty and whatever, and has the cutest accent, right? But she was running around and she was driving people and she was driving places and going places, sharing Arbonne. But she had this sense of like, she's like, you guys, there is some, like, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and there's got to be a better way for me to communicate with people. So she created her page, and it's Nicola Wills Femtrepreneur or something. It's kind of like, instead of entrepreneur, it's fem. I don't know. I can't even say it, so don't worry about that. But what she does is she posts and does, now that there's Facebook Live, she posts Facebook Live videos, but she does little short things, just letting people know who she is. And here's what she said. She said, think about Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is famous for what? What is she famous for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Literally, like, think about this. She let TV cameras into her life to follow her around at lunch with friends and sitting on her bed with her phone. I mean, come on. And she's crazy famous because there are people that are fascinated with that. And here's the thing. We're not all going to be Kim Kardashian. I actually don't want to be Kim Kardashian. But what Nicola was talking about is, she said, every single one of us is a unique us. Every single one of us. And you've got to really think about that, because there really, really, really isn't anyone who's just like you, right? You have an audience in this world. You need to let them see you. And she said, if you are worried about posting because you're worried about bragging or, making it seem like it's all about you or whatever, she's like, first of all, you need to be authentic. Nobody likes just the highlight reel, right? We all kind of get annoyed with that, with, oh, my life is all perfect. We all know those people, like, it's not, right? Like, people who post all the time how perfect their life is, like, beware, right? Because there's probably some really bad stuff going on behind the scenes. But just being real with people, authentic, and being a little vulnerable. And you have people out there that need to hear from you. And she said, your social media is not about you. So if you're worried what people are going to think, you're thinking about the wrong thing. There are absolutely going to be people that I wish that it weren't this way, but this is just the way it is. There are going to be people in your life that are going to tear you down on your path to success, because you know what? You're doing something that they're not willing to do. And that has happened to me. It will continue to happen. But it is nothing. That's this in comparison to the positive that you get back. Okay. And so I want you to think about getting a business page. I am going to create one. I thought I was going to do it today. That actually, I marked it off my list at 5:30 this morning when I woke up from my holy hour of planning and whatnot, because I thought that's unrealistic because of the other things I needed to get done. But think about putting yourself out there, and what is your brand? And listen to this call. What do you want to represent? So all of you know, you guys, my brand is inspiration, miracles, and joy. That's who I am in this world. Every time I say it, it lights me up, gets me excited, and it reminds me it's not about me. And if I can be a bright spot in someone's day, if I can bring joy into someone's life, you all know I love moments of where it seems like, no way did that happen. No way. I get all excited. Those are my miracle moments where I'm like, that's awesome. Creating things like that. So what's your brand? The final thing that I want to talk about is, alongside with social media, Gina Fryer. She's a national vice president under Sarah Wilson. She was at this retreat, and you guys, She has been doing Facebook parties for a while, and she has been studying under some social media experts. Oh, I feel like she literally just bought me probably 8 to 9 months of, maybe longer than that, of time because of what she told me. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start creating some Facebook events, and I'm going to add you to them. If you want to participate, say you're coming. If you don't, that's fine. Whatever you want, but you can then invite people that you want to. And the first one that I'm going to do is going to be masks and mascara. And I'm going to talk about the cellular renewal mask. And I think I'm only going to talk about the cellular renewal mask and our mascara. Okay. And what I will take you through step by step as far as on the team page. I'll do a separate call of like how I recommend that you invite people, what you do. You don't just invite them through the event. You do that, but you also send a private message to them. And I'll have, an example of what you can say. And these are going to be short. They're going to be 20 minutes or less. People can get on. And what's great is that even if they don't watch it live when I do it, they can go back to it and there will be sales. And now here's your thing. You're thinking, why wouldn't you do, the nutrition and the RE9 and whatever? You guys, it's way too much for online. And what we want to do is, the whole point of doing a Facebook event is to fill the funnel. So you are just trying to make connections, talk to people, and if they buy one product, that's awesome. You guys, the reason why Unique has been so successful is that they focused on their mascara. And it was all kind of crazy. The fact that some women really want their eyelashes to look like that is a little like, but we have an amazing mascara, and it will be an option for people to purchase. And you guys, you need to have them purchase at retail, because these are not these big dollar items. They're not going to need to ask their spouse or significant other permission to buy a mascara or a cellular renewal mask. And it is the entry point for you to start sharing about Arbonne. Okay. And so I'm going to have at least one a week, probably more like 2 to 3, because they're so short and easy to do. And they're going to be on different things. I will do one that's on the RE9. I will do one that's on the nutrition, but I will tell you, I'm not going to be going through each product or anything like that. It's going to be very simple. And there will be an offering. If there is an ASVP, like the nutrition, I'll talk about the 30-day package, but I will also give an option of, protein shake or fizz stick or both, right? And just to get in. And then, you guys can do the rest, and this is going to be a learning process for all of us. If this freaks you out, don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. My mode is this. I want to have a way to reach people that I don't think I would ever reach. And Facebook is the way to go, because guys, everybody's on Facebook and everyone is on this. Everyone is on their phone. And if this is where people are at, this is where we need to reach them, right? But my mission is to be able to connect with them at some point individually, where I can have a take a look, a one-with-one coffee chat, whatever you want to call it, so that I can connect with them, because that's when the mojo happens. The final thing that I want to say, and then I have a couple updates. I know I'm going long. Sorry, I had so much to share, and I didn't even tell you like half of it. Is that, I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. What was it? Talking about being on the phone and, drats. What was it? That's so annoying. It's going to come to me. I know. Thank you. Got it. Here's what I want you to think about. I honestly am in a place where I know I'm not going to do it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it as I teach you guys how to come from a place of passion and purpose. and talking about what really matters to people. Like, supersizing someone's life is way more exciting to talk about than, well, our comp plan, has 4 levels. Like, not that people don't need to know that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we have literally been spending 80 to 90% of our time on that information versus 80% of the time talking about what this can give people access to. Okay. That I kind of want to get away from scripts. I've always hated them. I've never followed a script my whole career in Arbonne. Never. And I want you to think about something. Have you ever read through a script and thought, well, I don't know if I would say it like that. That just doesn't sound like me. Right? Because guess what? It wasn't you. It was given to you by somebody else. Maybe it was me that wrote it or someone else. This is not, this is not scripted. Okay. Now we can have bullet points of like, make sure you cover something like this. And I get it. Like for somebody brand new, it does not matter. You guys, I had no script. I knew nothing about the RE9 except for the fact that I loved the way my skin felt and the fact and how it looked. And people would ask me questions and I was like, I have no idea. I will find out. But they bought it anyways because I loved it. Okay. So there is no written like this, you say this, and this will make you successful. So even when I post the stuff, like examples of what you could private message someone to invite them, that's just to give you an idea. You need to do the message. Okay. You need to do it. I want you to be you and have your voice because people need you, not something scripted. And I just am so crystal clear on where I got off track and that we're not getting off track anymore. No, sir. So the other thing is for those of you who are local, we are doing an Arbonne mixer. I posted that and I knew I would talk about it and I'd forget the date. I got to look at it, but I'll repost it. But for those of you who aren't in, you're off on your own, okay? Or maybe there's a couple of you. First of all, if there's a few of you, I recommend you do this. It does not matter your title. It is literally getting together and a bar area of a restaurant, so some neutral location, and inviting people and just being casual. No presentation, but it's definitely an Arbonne event. You say it's an Arbonne mixer, but it's just casual. Show up when you can. We're going to be there from like 7 to 9 or whatever. There is something magical about it. And Christy Darling has been doing it for a while. And, the girl's been crazy successful. So let's see. I think that's it. Oh, I am super excited about the Genius Ultra Challenge. And this, you guys, we are coming on. It's like this week is the last week for our preferred clients to get that crazy smoking deal. It's the Genius Ultra package with the facial oil, with free shipping and rewards. I mean, you guys, it's crazy. And by the way, we're doing that it's our Black Friday special. So this is it. There's no other special. And it ends the 15th. So they need to, get their orders in. And I think that that's great because it creates urgency. And you can say, honestly, I don't even have access to this because guess what? We don't. If someone is signed up as a consultant, even just for the discount, they don't get it. Okay. But I'm fine with that because I am all about getting as many of those Genius Ultras into people's hands because they're really amazing. But I do tell people, I tell every client, you've got to make sure to take a before and an after, or if you really want to, be wowed, if you're willing to do it around one eye for 1 week and you'll die. Because if you're doubting at all if it's going to work, you're like, oh, okay. So I'm going to open it up. You guys are muted, but I think you can unmute yourself. If you can't, let me know. But do any of you have any questions about what I talked about?
I have something about that Ultra Genius. I called Arbonne to see if you could get it on a host reward, and they said yes.
Oh,
Can you not?
Well, you know what? The reason why I was shaking my head no is I saw that I believe that there were people that were having problems with it, but I know that they had answered yes, but I bet they needed to fix it. So, Terry, that's a really great question. It's supposed to be available. So I will confirm it with you, and you guys, I will post it.
I have two gals that want it that can't afford it right now, and so they're doing parties for me, 2 parties, to try and earn it. So I called Arbonne to make sure that you could get it, and they called somebody and checked with somebody to double check, and they said yes. But if you do it, you have to, I mean, it has to, the party has to finish before the 16th, and you've got to make sure you go in on Google Chrome to do your party and erase your cookies and all that stuff to make sure there's no problems with the host reward.
Yep, I'm looking. I will, hold on. I'm just looking to see where it was. You guys, I am certain if they told you that, that is true. So I think, but I can't find it right now. There's way too many posts. Because these are all about specific, like when I typed in Genius Ultra, it's all these different questions about different skin conditions. They're asking Michael D'Arminio about it. So,
Hey Terry, I was gonna tell you, I had a client that was in the same situation. Like, she couldn't afford to buy it, but she really, really, really wanted it, and she's a good client of mine. So she hosted a party, and I told her, I was like, if you hit a certain level, I'll just buy it under my name and ship it to you, and then I'll take your host rewards and use them for myself to repay myself for the Ultra. And that's how I did it. But that was right after it came out, the first thing.
Well, I have 2 people that really want it, and I gave them samples this weekend, and they're doing a catalog party because they're both just super busy and can't get people together. So they're doing a catalog party. And so.
Here's the clarification. This is why I said no, and then okay. Let me clarify something. You can't ever use an ASVP for the host rewards ever. So you can't ever get an ASVP in what a hostess earns on the volume in her party, okay? But a PC can order in an ASVP in the event. That does count towards host rewards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's not what they told me over the phone.
Yeah, hostesses cannot ever redeem for an ASVP. The reason why, you guys, is that it's already been marked down. It has to do with obviously costs and whatnot. Okay, so and if someone in the party, it does count towards rewards if someone in the party buys an ASVP, but the hostess is not able to redeem for an ASVP. And that is due to the fact that it's at a 40% discount already, and they're allowing us to utilize that volume to go towards host rewards. I know this might sound a little complicated, but yeah. Did I lose everybody? Does that make sense? Terry, does that make sense?
Yes, and that's not what they told me, but that does make more sense to me. They may have been wrong.
So I bet they were thinking, yes, it can be ordered in the host reward system. That's what they were answering. But, that's just the event system. But it cannot be redeemed for a hostess reward.
Okay.
Good question. Anybody else? Okay. Okay. Super excited.
How are you?
Go ahead.
Julianne?
Yes.
How are you going to have people order in the Facebook, like when you do the little event, the 20-minute event? How are you going to have them order?
They have to private message the consultant that invited them, and you can give people your website.
Okay.
I mean, you can handle it however you want. I mean, you can just say, I mean, obviously, like, you can take it from them. I'm a big, like, I like to do the first order. So, but so I would have, you know, I'll tell people, private message me if you're one of my guests, and I will, I'll get that ordered for you. And, you know, like, you can communicate with them is probably what I would do. You could do the website. I always get worried that, like, if you leave it up to them, that they're going to be like, oh, I'll do it later. And then it never happens. Okay. But you can. And I will, in all of the Facebook things, I will talk about that we have an amazing shopping app. And so I think the shopping app rocks. If you guys haven't used it, I think it's fantastic. The one thing I will say is that there have been some errors, and sometimes if something is back ordered, it hasn't been up to date in the shopping app. I know as recently as last week, there were a few things, like, couldn't figure out why it wasn't going through. It was letting me put it in my shopping cart on the shopping app, but if I figured out on the website, it was back ordered. So it wasn't letting me process, and I couldn't understand why. So just a word to the wise, like, if you have that situation where you're like, I don't understand why it's not going through, that's probably the thing. But I know they're on it, and they're, I think, correcting that. And I would hope that it's already corrected, but that did happen. Okay. The other thing that I really quickly want to say is we have a brand new consultant who's on. I can see Leanna, and she is direct to Kathy Maloney out in New Jersey. And Leanna, I'm not going to I am totally putting you on the spot. You do not have to unmute, but we just all, like, I totally want to give you a huge welcome to the team. This is a group of amazing powerhouse women that you are a part of. And I can't wait for you to get to know people through our team calls and the different things that we're doing, and come to GTC in Vegas because we have super fun. And Terry and I play Pai Gow.
And go to the emergency room.
Yeah, there's no more edamame that will ever be eaten at GTC. Just
Terry, don't scare her away.
Yeah.
It's a long story, Leanna. I'll let Kathy explain. But anywho, welcome. We're excited that you're here. And we have some other new team members, but I don't see that they're currently on. So, but you guys, make it a great week. And this business is about little step, watch for the opportunity. And what I mean by that is, don't think that you have to make 10, 15 phone calls at a time. Little step, watch for the opportunity. There are some days where you're just going to do one thing for your business. And you know what? Just look at what needs to be done and pick the best thing. And my advice would be, do the thing that you're kind of scared to do, because that's where probably your most potential lies. And it feels so good to just rip the Band-Aid off and get it done. Okay. But little step, watch for the opportunity, truly does lead us to success. So I love you guys. Have a great week. I'm sure there will be a lot of communication coming in regards to the Facebook parties and more stuff. So, but I've talked way long. These usually are not this long. So good night. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Julianne.
Bye.
Bye, guys.